the people around us, one quality that people generally find very disturbing and troubling is when you see that someone is fake, someone is phony, someone isn't really the way they are all the time with you. So when they meet you, they'll be smiling. When they're with you, they'll say positive things, and they would make it seem as though they're the most closest to you. But when you're not around, those people may not share the same feelings, and in fact, behind your back, they may say certain things. This is the concept of what we call takalluf, tasannu'. When somebody puts on a mask, something not real about them. One of the beautiful qualities of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he says about the Sahaba that they were أَقَلُّهُمْ تَكَلُّفًا وَأَعْمَقُهُمْ عِلْمًا وَأَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلُقًا. That if you want to look at the characteristics, the qualities of the Sahaba, they had many qualities. But the one thing that was so beautiful about them is you got what you saw. If you met Abdullah ibn Umar, there was no pretense, there was no takalluf, there was no fake smile. If he was a particular way, he would pretend that he would be that way. He would never, subhanAllah, one of the cultures we have today is, to give you an example, somebody's bank balance can only support a certain lifestyle. But they're so cognizant of the people around them, so they'll take a loan to get a better car, they'll get a loan to get a better home. They'll go out of their way so people can imagine they're a particular way, even though they can't afford that lifestyle. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they lived a life where if you saw them when they weren't looking and they didn't know you were around, they would behave the exact same way if you were looking them straight in the eye. That is one of the qualities of consistency and istiqamah that made the Sahaba so beautiful. أَقَلُّهُمْ تَكَلُّفًا. They didn't have any takalluf, meaning if they were sitting down, they didn't have the best of clothes, they would wear whatever they had. If they wanted to invite somebody over, and for them, they know that I wish I could give them more, but I want to be generous, I'm going to invite them over. I may not have the most fancy home, I may not be able to afford a 5-course meal, but I want to be generous, I'll invite people. But when you think of the lack of takalluf, right, you see somebody dressed in a way that's poor, if we're going to use that stereotype, we don't associate good qualities with them because we think, you know what, maybe they're in the lower rung. But subhanAllah, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud carries on. وَأَعْمَقُهُمْ عِلْمًا. But their knowledge was unsurpassable. Sometimes you'll see some senior ulama in mashayikh and scholars, sometimes they'll come to visit our country or they'll be abroad. There was one of our teachers, mashallah, Muwafatul Rahman Azami, I just think about him, one of our many teachers. And he was a Shaykh al-Hadith, he was teaching Sahih al-Bukhari. He was somebody where anytime he would be someone, the scholars and even the wealthy people, they all come and flock to him so they can study with him. But I promise you, if you came to the masjid at any time, whether it was tahajjud time or dhuhr time, he was there in the first saf right behind the imam. But what was more fascinating was if you saw the way he was dressed, in your mind, you wouldn't think that this person's a scholar, you would think he's just an ordinary person. That is what you call أَقَلُّهُمْ تَكَلُّفًا. There's no fronting, there's no fake veneer. They have this reality to them. So أَعْمَقُهُمْ عِلْمًا. They have the deepest of knowledge. وَأَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلُقًا. Don't let their clothing dictate the way they would treat you. They would smile with you, they would be kind with you, they would be generous with you, they would never backbite you. They had the best of qualities. And subhanAllah, one of the unfortunate realities of the world that we live in today, it's all about fronting. That I want to take an image and put it up, make it my profile feed, make it my Instagram post, make it a Snapchat post, so that people can think I am something, whereas in reality, I can't even afford that lifestyle. Whereas in reality, that's not who I am. I just want people to think that because I have so many followers. One of the qualities of the Sahaba was simplicity that was sustainable, but knowledge that was quite unattainable. And that's something that we should try our best to follow in the footsteps of. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward the Sahaba. May Allah allow us to follow in their footsteps and inculcate those beautiful qualities that they had. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen.